Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And welcome to Sunday's edition of the dceu Daily, and you are very welcome. If you're feeling charitable, please, my friends, smash the subscribe button. I said it eventually, and the like button. And welcome to the dceu Daily. And today we are talking about two things. We are going to talk about the fact that Warner Brothers are not changing the release date for Wonder Woman 1984. Then we will talk with the fact living is a very interesting aspect right now, seeing what's going on. But we will talk about people having Zack Snyder living rent-free in their heads. It is amazing. It is amazing that people will still talk about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman after all these years. So Wonder Woman 1984, despite what I read out to you yesterday, is going ahead as planned. That they released a beautiful poster. Let me show you this poster. This poster is freaking brilliant, by the way. Where are we? Here we are. This, my friends, is just the tip of the iceberg because there's a moving one as well, but this is absolutely beautiful. So why was this posted yesterday? Well, it's pretty clear to me that if I find the one that was moving as well, it's pretty clear to me that Warner Brothers want to make it clear that everything in the garden is rosy and nothing is changing. We are talking about June. Let's not forget about that. Where are we now? We're in March, April, May. There's no way. The only time they'd make a decision if things are still as bad as they are in May, then they would probably have to postpone the release. But right now, there is no reason to start actually considering, postponing Wonder Woman 1984. It would be so dumb. But it's interesting because films like The Matrix and the other Warner Brothers productions are still in production. They're probably the only or one of the few studios who are carrying on as usual. Again, very, very interesting. So let's look for the moving one because I really like it and I want to show it to you. I think Patty Jenkins put it up. Where are we? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, here we are. This is beautiful, my friends. This is beautiful. Look at this. See? Can you see that? That is absolutely fantastic. So, Warner Brothers, Patty Jenkins, wanted to make it clear that everything is going ahead as scheduled. Now, what does that do? Well, what that actually does is say, look, we are a strong studio. We are confident. What it also shows is that Warner Brothers as a studio may be dealing with the outbreak of the word that YouTube don't like much better than other studios. It would maybe suggest that during production they have got a medical staff at the ready because it is an interesting situation. I think if we just talk about the thing that nobody wants to name. I think the problem is it's a flu strain, it's a cold, but the problem is with it, it's so easy to catch. It's highly spreadable, which puts older people and people with underlying issues under threat. But here's the thing: so does an ordinary cold or flu. It's exactly the same thing. It attacks the nervous system a little bit stronger. But most people, 80% of people, as we've already discussed, are having mild symptoms, they're staying at home and getting over it. The reaction to this whole thing is amazing, and it also shows how bad Western society is run. And it's run so badly because capitalist states do not invest your taxes in you. They pocket the money. And we just look at what's going on in China. They have slam dunked this thing because any taxes, anything they make out of their people, they invest it back in their people, in their medical services, in their police services, in their security services. China is a very, very strong country, and it just shows you how strong they are. And really, it's laughable how the West are actually dealing with this. But then you look at Warner Brothers saying, we're not folding up production. Wonder Woman 1984 will be released in June. June's a good month for them because, as I say, it's a way off, but it just shows you how professional and brilliant Warner Brothers are. And I'm very, very impressed by this because I think it would be a reactionary situation when a film's not coming out for another 3 months or so. We're on April, May, June. Yeah, another just under 3 months, right? It would be ridiculous to say, right, because of the coronavirus fears, we're not going to release it in June. There's no reason to do that. And I was surprised that the guy, and I forgot his name, whose tweet I read out, was talking about it yesterday. But these people need to be talking about something. And I'm sure a lot of the negative people are very, very upset that Warner Brothers haven't, stopped producing and filming movies and are going on as usual. And I'd say credit to Warner Brothers. So that's that. So I'm very excited about Wonder Woman 1984, and I can't wait to see it. Yes, Zack Snyder is still living rent-free in many haters' heads. Now, because I follow a lot of the DCEU community, I see a lot of negative tweets about Snyder's DCEU movies. Now, people criticise us for jumping on them every time they criticise Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. It's like if you keep on kicking a dog, it's going to become rabid. Because ever since Man of Steel and ever since Batman v Superman, all we have to put up with is Zack Snyder's DC films are so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. Well, how long can people hear this before they attack rabidly, right? We are sick and tired of having what we love being attacked. And do you know what I hate about the internet? The internet loves talking about what it doesn't like, but it doesn't really talk about what it loves. Some people do. And I respect those people. I really do. But it's constant. It's every day. And these people who hate on Snyder's DCEU don't really have a good reason for doing so. Oh, one I read yesterday, Clark Kent has no charm. He hasn't got that farm boy charm. What? Have you seen him and Martha together on the Kent farm in Man of Steel? That is so charming. He is charming. Cavill is very charming as Clark Kent in those scenes. So, again, the criticism is unfounded. But there you have it. This is what we have to put up with. Day in, minute out. And, of course, it's incredibly frustrating if you're a fan of something, if you love something, if you love Maltesers, and you've got hundreds of people a day saying, I don't like Maltesers, they're so bad. I hate people who like Maltesers. And this is what we get, especially on Twitter, on a daily basis. At least if someone does a hate piece about Snyder and the DCEU on this platform, YouTube, you don't have to watch the video. But sometimes you're scrolling down, and maybe a fellow Snyder fan, DCEU fan, has replied to it. Or it's just there, or someone likes it that you follow, or who follows you. It's not like you're looking for these things, but they're in your face constantly on a daily basis. And, as I say, it's utterly frustrating when something you really, really love is being attacked on a daily basis. Now, most of all, I just quote tweet them with laughing emojis. I don't really respond that much because I just think it's a joke. I do. But I do love the fact that where are we at? Man of Steel was 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 7 years down the line, these nut buckets are still talking about Man of Steel as a really, really bad film. If you believe that Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are bad films, that's up to you. It winds me up when these people universally, it's like their opinion means something is bad. No, it's bad to you, but it's great to us. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are great comic book movies, but they're different. They're different types of comic book movies. And I think this is where people get confused and have the problem. Oh, it's bad. It was a flop. Man of Steel wasn't a flop. BVS wasn't a flop. They probably should have made more money and didn't. Fair enough. But to call them flops. But people will call something they don't like a flop. Because basically people will take the box office and twist it around to make it look bad for films that they do not like. And again, that's entirely up to you. But my point is that what do you think it does every time you hashtag Man of Steel or BVS? It just means it's being talked about. In fact, you are helping in our fight to release the Snyder Cut. So keep it going, negative or positive. And what is it that Zack Snyder has said? He loves making films that create a reaction, whether it's positive or negative. So you people are actually pleasing Zack Snyder. You're doing what exactly what he wants you to do, which is to talk about his product, his films. So it is amazing that people are still talking about this so long, for so long. The debates are still there. Should Superman have killed Zod? It's a massive debate that people are still having. And I think that's great. I think that's wonderful because it just shows you what what opinions Man of Steel and Batman v Superman have motivated from people. And that says a lot. It's when people don't have any opinions on you, on what you create, on what you make and what you say, that you should worry. And I think people are still talking about these movies after so long. For me, it's just an amazing thing. It's an incredibly exciting thing because at the end of the day, right, Man of Steel or any film is there to be critiqued, is there to be analysed. That's the beauty of art. And you know, as an artist, whether you're Zack Snyder or someone else who creates art, music, painting, drawings, that type of art form, or making movies or anything, or me just doing this simple little video. I know when I do a video, it's there to be shot down, right? And I have to take the criticism. People may not like my hair, the jumper I'm wearing. It doesn't really matter to me. It's water off a duck's back. That I think people who put themselves out there are very brave. And I'm not talking about myself as such, but I'm just talking about people in general who put themselves out there. And Snyder puts himself out there. He makes a very different type of film. He made two very different, unique comic book movies. And they have lasted for a very long time so far, and they will. People will be talking about these films for the next 50 or 60 years, maybe in 100 years' time. When we're all been and gone, I hope that I can see the Snyder Cut before I'm dead and gone. So I hope that name, that word that we're not allowed to mention doesn't get me. But I'm quite confident I can handle the flu. I can handle some sneezing because that's what this thing that's going around is. And again, ridiculous what's going on in the world right now. But there you go. The whole world, or the whole Western world, is pretty much in shutdown mode. Well, apart from the UK, because the UK wants 60% of people to get it. So they don't get it again. Yeah, good idea not. But there you have it. Zack Snyder, what's that? What, as an artist, what do you want when you make something? You want it to last. You want it to have exposure. You want it to have conversation. And that's one thing that's going on here. The Man of Steel and Batman v Superman have motivated conversation after conversation. Was it right that Batman and Superman stopped fighting because their mothers have the same name? Well, if you're intelligent and you understand what's going on in that scene, then you know it was the right way to go. But idiots with no grey matter will say, they stopped fighting because their mothers had the same name. Ha, 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 that sucks. That's so bad. But it doesn't suck, and it isn't so bad because at that moment, as we've said a million times before, at that moment, he sees Clark as a person. Batman, Bruce Wayne sees Clark for the first time as a person with a mother, right? And it's a brilliant moment. It's a compelling moment, and it still brings tears to my eyes right now. But I want to know what you think about what I've been talking about today. How do you feel about Warner Brothers still saying that Wonder Woman 1984 will be released on schedule? How do you feel that all their productions are still filming? And Do you think it's a good thing that people are still talking about Batman v Superman and Man of Steel after all these years? Please comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back on Monday with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.